Hey Halloween lovers and haunters, TS Terrors here. We've only just started 2026 and we already have our first official animatronic reveal for the 2026 Halloween season. This one doesn't come from the standard retailers like Target, Lowe's, Home Depot, or Spirit Halloween. This one comes from the more professional side of things, Distortions Unlimited. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Distortions, I'm not going to give you their full rundown. Instead, I'll just say that they make very high quality props and animatronics, which of course comes with a higher price point that you would probably expect. Before their 2026 reveal, the animatronic that I've wanted the most from them has been Banshee. I mean, look at this thing. Absolutely terrifying, very high quality in detail. Overall, fantastic looking prop at the price point of $4,600. Which is kind of why right now it's out of my price range. This new animatronic though, does it make me want it more than Banshee and at the price range that it's at? Let's take a look at their current 2026 lineup and find out. So the first one to talk about is Medusa Legend, and this one is really well done. The head on this one alone is just very well detailed. The guy who sculpted the snakes was really into reptiles and snakes, so he put his all into them.
And then Tom, who's a reptile lover, sculpted all these snakes. And let me tell you, that is a lot of work there, and they're very realistic.
And made them look very realistic, which I super appreciate because that level of detail just makes it even more terrifying. Now, this is a static prop, although the arms are posable. There's a wire inside the arms that allow you to bend them how you see fit, so they can work in pretty much any setting, which I think adds a lot to the value personally. As well, the eyes, they do have various flash speed settings, which is really cool. He shows that there is a remote control, which is super cool. The only downside to this prop, I would say, is it does not come with the audio by default. You have to go out and buy like a Bluetooth speaker or something like that, and then download the sound effect for her on a website, which is a little unfortunate, but they assume that everyone's going to have their own Bluetooth speaker and stuff like that, and have their own sounds that they're going to want to implement. But if you do want to implement the default sounds, you can, and I guess the eyes will light up alongside the sounds when it gets super loud. I think that's super cool, and this is priced at $880 currently. So for that price point, I mean, you're expecting pretty high quality, and I think you're going to be getting that. Would I ever get this one? Personally, no, just because I prefer the animatronics over static props. And if I do get a static prop, I kind of like them to be a little bit cheaper just because, well, I prefer to spend my money on animatronics. But overall, Medusa Legend looks really cool, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that want to pick this one up. And honestly, I can't blame them. It just looks super cool. And the snakes on the head just heavily remind me of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which I'm all in for. Next up, we have probably the only static prop that I would ever want to spend a good amount of money on, Corpse Nightfall. This thing costs $350, and while it has no movement or no special components whatsoever, the detail alone makes it worth the $350. I mean, look at this thing. It looks like something straight out of a horror movie or a horror video game. It's just that good. You have bones coming out. That alone is just terrifying for some people. Like, some people would get grossed out by that and queasy. I feel like this prop alone would cause you to have some complaints from the neighbors about the level of detail. And some kids might even think it's a real body. I mean, if you put it under the right lighting conditions, I think it'll just amplify the horror even more, and it will really just put those $30 skeletons that you can get from Target or Home Depot or whatever to complete shame. But, I mean, that's what happens when you look at props from a professional grade store like Distortions Unlimited. But either way, if I was to ever get a prop from Distortions Unlimited, this would probably be it because it would fit really, really well in a cemetery/graveyard theme, which I'm always here for. I just love those. But overall, this is a fantastic prop, and I'm just super glad that they decided to make something like this year. Next up, we have Frankencat. This thing cost $230, but honestly, it's not something that I would ever consider purchasing. I don't have any pets, so I don't have that animal attachment to it, and again, it's a static prop, so I can't really care about it that much anyways, but I'm sure many of you are going to have a good amount of interest in this thing. It looks cool, it does, but it's not for me. The next thing, however, is what I am the most interested in so far from Distortions Unlimited, which is Ghost Revenant. And let me tell you, this thing is absolutely perfect for a cemetery or a graveyard display. I always do a graveyard or cemetery in some way, shape, or form. I just think they're great. And the fact that they have this thing standing next to, or floating next to, I should say, a gravestone marker tells me that this would work perfectly in my home display. I can just imagine like having the corpse nightfall directly under this thing and this thing floating above it in my graveyard. It would just terrify people. It would terrify kids and adults. I just think it would be fantastic. Now, you might have a comparison with this one with the Jack the Reaper animatronic from Spirit Halloween, and I can see that because of the pole that goes up. Now, the difference is Jack the Reaper does cost like, what, $320 if I'm not mistaken, and it's not bad. It rotates left and right, but this one cost this one cost $990 on sale at the moment, with a general price point of $1,190. So basically triple the cost of Jack the Reaper, but you are getting so much more than Jack the Reaper could ever offer. The level of detail on this thing, the rotation is significantly better, because with Jack the Reaper, it stays in place and rotates left and right. This one actually moves left and right a bit, which I think adds a tremendous amount of weight to the value. Like, it really does. And then the eyes and the mouth light up with this orange color. Not sure if that's changeable, but those things light up, and that can just overall amplify everything. Not to mention, this thing is lathered with UV lighting.
We finish painting him, we add ultraviolet invisible ink, so he kind of has this blue glow to him, ghostly glow. Yeah, and what's cool is since he's painted with both UV and regular paint, when regular white light hits him, he looks ghostly, but then when it goes dark and just the UV light hits him, he looks ghostly. So it's kind of like two different contrasting effects.
So when the light hits it in a certain way, it'll drastically change how it visually looks and make it more terrifying, especially if you have something like fog or lightning flashing, something along those lines where you're playing with lighting. It can just genuinely amplify things tenfold. Honestly, if I had this kind of money lying around, I would absolutely want to buy this. And if I'm being honest, while earlier in the video I had said that Banshee is my #1 prop to want to get, I still think Banshee is the #1 prop that I do want to get, but I think I would end up getting Ghost Revenant first, just because it has that same level of terrifying nature to it, but at a much lower price point, and it fits more with my theme than Banshee does. I love Banshee so much, but for the price point, I do feel like I would probably end up getting Ghost Revenant first, because I was interested in getting Jack the Reaper for last season, but they didn't have it in my store, so I ended up getting Crypt Countess, which I'm more than happy with, but this could be the Jack replacement. I'm all for it. But honestly, so far for 2026 Halloween season, Distortions Unlimited has come in swinging for more than just the fences. And I'm excited to see what else they have in store for us for this year. But if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like on it. If you didn't enjoy it, well, hit the dislike, but at least tell me how I can improve for future videos. And let me know in the comment section if you plan on getting any of Distortions Unlimited's products this year. I'm curious. And if you do, which one? But if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.